Summers. This is the Crafty Summers Show, and we're on the 101 Lake Network. Today's project, we're going to build a replica of the Old Oaken Bucket, and this is by request of the Steuben County Community Foundation to be used as a fundraiser. What we're starting out with here is an old wine cask that I picked up somewhere, and it's about the right size. I think that the Old Oaken Bucket is, and it's got a few parts missing. It's got a little spigot here in the front, and it's got one of the metal bands across the back has disappeared. So we're going to have to fabricate one of those, and also we have to take out the bottom or the top, and then we have to make some type of a bail or a handle that goes on that. So that's what we're going to do today. The first thing I'd like to do is we'll take the spigot out, and that just screws out. And I don't know if this was actually used as a wine cask, but why not? It seems pretty solid. Next thing we do is need to make a metal band, but making a metal band, I found out, it's a little bit more difficult than just wrapping a piece of steel around it, because the one side is a lot bigger than the other, so it's kind of a tapered band, and you have to come up with a way to cut that. And I don't know if they used one piece of steel and just hammered it on there, or if they're a little bit different shape. But what I decided to do is I took a piece of paper, and I've done this a little bit earlier, and I wrap it around the bucket to get the right measurement. And then I cut the top of the paper off so I know what the smallest diameter is going to be. And then that tells me then how big oh heck, I don't know, I'm just messing around here. So I'm trying to get it so it's the right shape, but it always ends up being a nice little smiley face. So I decided just to use that as a pattern then. I've taken a piece of sheet metal here. I'm going to lay this out on top of that and simply trace that pattern. I don't want to waste any here. So I'm just going to take a pencil and with the overlap, it's going to be about this big here, and I'm going to make the strap about 3/4 of an inch long. Need a ruler here. Get a measurement on that. The other straps are 7/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to go and measure 7/8 of an inch in about 4 or 5 different places, and put a series of dotted lines, and then just simply draw through and connect those dotted lines. Okay, it's simply electric scissors. This bottom part here just moves up and down and shears the metal, and then you push it through. Take this off the edge of the table. See if I can get this lined up. Wow. That's a lot different than cutting that by hand. So we'll get rid of that scrap. And this is the piece that I want to keep right here, so I'm going to try to cut that off. Hopefully it'll work. Wow. And there's my curly band. Looks like an old rotten sword there. Yeah, we'll fix that up though. What the heck. Boy, look at those. Aren't those nice? Just figure out what to do with that someday. I'll have to keep that. All right, take some shears here. Ouch. I got that cut. So do you think it's going to fit? Okay, the next thing I got to do is I'm going to put a little bit of a pre-bend in this to get it started so it fits around the cask. I think that's the right word, wine cask. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I guess this is some big rivalry between IU and Purdue. I don't know too much about it. There you go, a nice neat curve. I guess I could have wrapped that around the bucket. See, it actually does fit pretty good. So, okay, I'm going to get that as tight as I can. And then I want to mark the end of it right there with the pencil. That kind of tells me where this is actually going to fit down over there when I line up these two marks like that right there. What I want to do is take a piece of sandpaper and sand these edges a little bit. Anytime you cut a piece of metal, it tends to give it a sharp edge, so we want to get rid of that. I'm assuming that IU and Purdue people aren't very handy when it comes to sharp edges, so we'll help them out here a little bit. Okay, we can bring it back right to here. So that's about the size we want it to be. The next thing I'm going to do is kind of drill a hole or pre-drill a hole to make sure that the rivets, we're going to use rivets on this, and I happen to have some here. I'll set these down on the table. These little things are rivets, and you drill a hole and slide the rivet through, and then you hit one side with the hammer and expand it, and that tends to lock it on. And that's how these other bands were made, so I'm going to follow that same procedure. So I have to have a drill bit that's about the same size as the rivet, and that's what that is right there. Take the special drill bit. And I'm going to stand here and look foolish. No, I'm going to get my piece of wood and take that perfectly shaped curve there. Boy. Anyway, nobody will notice. I'm going to drill one hole towards the end, about in the middle. And hopefully that rivet's going to fit. It didn't. So take the edges off of it and see if that'll fit. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. It's right in there. So that's good. Bring us back and get an idea where it should end at. So what I've done is I'm drilling a hole on the outside edge of the band, and I guess the hard part is drilling an identical hole on the inside of the band. So I have these two here I put together, and what I really need is a pair of vice grips. Oh, there's it right there. So I'm going to line this up. Take the old vice grips. Put that right where I want it at. Right there, clamp these on as clamps. And And now I'm going to drill the second hole through there. Take that off. Put the rivet through the bottom and the rivet through there. And now I'm going to, since I know exactly where that's going to be at now, I'm going to put this back on and clamp it down. So now the second hole should line up accurately. And make sure that second rivet fits. Goes right in there, that's pretty good. Okay, now I got those two. And now the deal is I need to anchor these rivets, and I'm going to do that with a ball peen hammer. And I get this out of here, the old railroad tie here. Set that down on there, and I'm simply going to squish it. And round the top of the rivet over. Excellent job. Wow. And now we'll go to the other one. Oh, scared me for a minute. Put that one in place. Okay, now it's perfectly shaped. No, it's not. Okay, I guess it's time. I think once we put this down over and then kind of give it a little bit of a tap, it'll look better. Okay, we'll take a flat piece of metal. Keep it from slipping. So I could hammer the rest of these down all the way around. Okay, and now what I want to do is, don't roll off the table. I'm going to put a small hole in the band. And take a nail. And that nail's too long, so I need to trim it down a little bit so it's not too big. And use this to hold that band in place. And then I can set the other side, make it a little bit tighter. And now I'm going to drill a hole, get that nail out. Okay, we're going to pause for a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have the band finish. We're going to cut the top out and then make the bail or the handle. See you in a bit. Okay, welcome back. We're going to put one more pin in here to hold the rim or the metal band in place. We've got that part done. Now we're going to call this the top, and we're going to, since this is an enclosed bucket, we have to bust this top out here. And I think it'll all stay together, but well, we're going to find out. The plug just broke off, so hey, no worry. And I've been trying to figure out how to take this off because it's kind of wedged in underneath these holes, and so I'm thinking I'd like to keep it for some reason, but I don't know what. Excuse me, that's the drill. Not me. Okay, so we've got a hole in there, and I mean, it's always fun to do something destructive instead of... Anyway, so we're going to take a saber saw, and I already have the power turned on here. Disconnect that. Okay, I'll put this in here and take that out, and I have a line cut through here, and I'm going to see if I can... Oh, I could. Wow. Wow. Anyway. Well, moving around inside there, what I have to do is just cut this. The thing that surprised me is that the inside of this cask is full of wax. It's been sealed in wax. So I guess that's what they did when they put the beverage in there. So we'll dump that out. What I'm just going to do is clean some of that wax out. And just using a wood chisel to kind of scrape the big pieces off. Isn't that something? Okay. Oh man, I have a really good idea here. We'll work on that later. But now we've got our bucket now. We got our bands on. We got the hole in the top, and what we want to do is make the top part. I did go online to see how this thing was put together, and the handle simply is a round metal rod that comes up and makes a little loop at the top and goes back down. So I got something about the same size. I think this was off of an old baby bed, and I found the middle, and what I want to do is bend it and make that loop. So I'm coming over here on the vise, and I put 2 pieces of metal in that I can put this rod around like that, and then I'm just going to try to please stay together. Okay, we got that far. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. Okay, that's kind of what it looks like. but somehow that doesn't fit. Okay, so what we need to do now is bend this down around to try to give it a little bit of a bendy edge. And I'm going to put this in here. We have something like that there. And that's getting pretty close to it. All right, we're about there. This here needs a little bit of help. I hope I can do that. And I think at this point we're going to pause for a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. What we're doing right now is we're trying to heat the handle up to give it a little bit better shape and trying to get enough heat in there. And let's see. Oh, wow, that got hotter, didn't it? Get this up to a nice red glow, and I think I can put a little bit better curve in it so that it'll look a little nicer. There we go. Of course, I'll probably burn my hand, and I should wear gloves. Okay. There. Okay, I think we got a little bit better shape in that, and I'm going to let this cool a little bit. The next thing I'm going to do while we're waiting for that to cool is drill the holes for the handle. Okay, welcome back. I did get another bit out instead of the one I thought I had. So what I want to do is simply make a mark in the band that the handle itself will go through and hook in. And I want to make sure that it's directly across from that. So we'll put a couple holes in here. My battery's done. Okay, and just to make sure that that's going to fit down in there, that does. We're in good shape. Set the bucket aside. I need to do a little more bending here with this. So we'll go back here. About right. The next thing we want to do is take the two ends here and we want to bend these in so that they'll lock inside the bucket. And to do that, I think I'm going to work over here on the vise. May make it a little bit easier on me. And that in. The other side. And get that to work. I think we need to do a little more work on the loop, and then we'll be all set. Well, I think we're about done really with this much of it. Take that back out. I'm just looking at a way to try to reshape the loop here. Okay, I think we've met our goal for today, and this is going to be the bucket for the Community Foundation, and then we have some people here that want to talk to you about that. So welcome back. We have our project finished now. Our bucket is done. We have the handle on, and we have a couple guests here that are going to tell you something about what it's going to be used for, and then we'll make a presentation.
Hi, thank you so much. My name is Lisa Caudill, and I'm the Scholarship Associate at the Steuben County Community Foundation. And this is?
I'm Kim Tubergen.
And we wanted to take a moment to just tell you why this lovely bucket was made for us. We have established a new scholarship at the Community Foundation. It's called the Old Oaken Bucket Challenge, and the purpose of it is to raise money for students who are wanting to attend either Indiana University or Purdue University. And we have a wonderful committee comprised of alumni from both colleges that are helping to start our first fundraiser this year, which we hope will be an annual event. And we need to raise $5,000 initially to get the scholarship endowed and be able to award scholarships in the future. Our fundraiser is coming up very soon, and Kim would like to tell you a little bit more about that fundraiser.
Thank you, Lisa. The Foundation's fundraiser is our version of the Old Oaken Bucket. It's next Saturday, a week from tomorrow, and today being Friday. It is November 22nd, and the committee has done a good job of getting a lot of items that we're going to be having a silent auction for. We're going to get together at the Elks. The game starts at 12 o'clock on November 22nd. The door will open an hour and a half early at 10:30. We're selling tickets. Again, it is a fundraiser to establish this endowed scholarship. Tickets are $30 each and $50 for a couple. And we hope to have as many Purdue and IU alumni there as possible. I see Lisa is wearing her IU red, and I am a Purdue grad, so I'm dressed in the black. And we hope to have a good, friendly rivalry at this game Saturday, November 22nd. Again, we will have some other fundraisers while we're there. We'll have the silent auction. There'll be raffles, tickets being sold, and things like that. The idea for this first year, though, is just to have a good time. We're wanted people to get together again in this friendly rivalry, and we established to get this scholarship established. And so we're hoping that we can have a lot of IU and Purdue alumni attend. They can buy advance tickets, or just that day come to the door and buy them right at the door. Everybody will be welcome, and so we're hoping that we have a good turnout and everybody has a good time. And if you want to we were watching this, you make this, and this is fantastic here.
Well, it's always fun to do, and it's especially a good cause. So I present you the bucket, and best of luck.
Thank you. We also have found out that Vestal Manufacturing, we have some Vestal Manufacturing employees on our committee, and that I understand this is going to be our version of the Old Oaken Bucket. It's actually a barrel. We may call it the Old Oaken Barrel. here, but this is just perfect for what we want it for. And we are going to also have a chain made out of P's and I, so whoever wins the ball game, if it's Purdue, we'll put a P on here, and if it's Indiana, an I will be put on. And I understand that Vessel
Until next time, this is the Crafty Summers Show.